Seku-right? Angingathuki bazalwane. Silizwe singazazi. Ma-face be looking. Angathuki nje. Yena angazagcoba. So amangathi ngishilo ebusuku. Angobe ngichime ngibe mpofu. Ngase ngikrime ngelona. But-ke angibingelele-ke. Hhayi ngithi nje amen kwabathandazi. Ngiyabusela ngithi thozani bogogo nomkhulu. Ngithi emakhosini, thina-ke semakhosini. Ngibusele babakithi bazongiphelezela kule nkulumo. Kugatsheni ubuya benyathi ubusongo somlokompongo zingelwane nabandlu beyinkobe ezidleka ngokusolo belusi zothi zoluso ntombazane. Nanibomthena ngokuthe amadoda emazibukweni makwande. Ngiphinde-ke ngiyavusela-ke thonga lakithi la kubaba la ngizalelwa khona komakhanya unguNogumede kophathwa koqaba kukho. Ya ngiyabingelela nje, ngiyabingelela kunina nonke. Ngiyabingelela nje kunina nonke ngobuningi benu, ukuphelela kwenu, iy'dalwa eziniphelezelayo. Before nje singene namhlanje, I'm just gonna speak about nje random things that actually have happened or ngizibonile nashabalala. I saw a few things. Actually, one that, Baba.
Yeah.
That I think Zoti trended. Because it was a podcast by Joy. Mangifuna ukukhohlwa inkinga zikamoya. But obviously angiwabuki wonke ama-episode because khona anokuphambana nomoya wami. So I only saw a clip on TikTok of this. Because hayi ngikhona kwi-tavern lase-TikTok ngoba i-tavern le. Iy'ngxoxo ney'nkulumo eziphuma laphana ku-TikTok ezase-tavern. Ningangibuza ukuthi ngazi kanjani indaba zase. As you know that I worked in events. So ayikho indawo yomgroove engayazi. Ayikho nje, ayikho. Ngisebenzile nje ngitravela, so ngizazi zonke. But I saw a video, and the only reason why I'm commenting on this because if ngithinta emanonini njengomuntu wasemakhosini, because kuney'ndlela esiphila ngazo thina emakhosini, and kunemithetho esabekelwa yona emakhosini njengomakhosi. Abaphothula ubungoma baphelela baphuma neshoba lenkomo. Hayi leli elithengwayo-ke, kuneshoba lenkonkoni ofika ulithenge Makhosi. Ofika ulithenge mususe stagini emakhosini ekuthiwa isemcakweni. Ne? Kuneshoba Makhosi. Ya kune stage kuthiwa kumcaka, ngithi khona umuntu ufika abebovini bese umuntu uma sephothula ibovu abe emcakweni, uma sephothula umcako kusesemakhosini. Thenga-ke ishoba-ke lenkonkoni ususe emcakweni. Bese-ke masuse emakhosini usuke ulungiselela ukuba naleli shoba lakho-ke mhla uphothula umngoma wakho waphelela kwathiwa Makhosi. Inkomo umsila wayo uyasikwa, kulungiswe kahle, khiphe kuphuma ishoba lakho-ke bese kuthiwa cha impela uyisangoma esiphelele-ke manje uMakhosi ophelele owaphuma ngeshoba ngoba kunabantu abaphuma beguqile. Ne? Bese kuba nabantu abaphuma bephothulile baphelela-ke ngenkomo baphuma neshoba labo. Njengathina-ke saphuma ngeshoba. I'm very offended by this video, by this clip, because angibukanga the whole thing, because abantu abenza imikhuba nabenza whatever, I tend to not really pay attention to iy'nkulumo zabo because I know they don't come with light. Because that light, i-light yabo isuke ihamba nokumnyama. This video I'm speaking about, kwakhulunywa ukuthi abantu abathwele ubabona kanjani. Yakhumbula. We were both very frustrated. We were both very frustrated when we saw this. Because yes, kuhle ukuxwayisa abantu ngokuthi umuntu othwele umbona kanjani ngoba abantu manje sebethwala ngayo yonke imigilingwana manje ongeke ukuthi uyayiqala uyayi-understanda. And because ngeke uthi uyaqala uyayi-understanda, ngcono wazi umuntu ongakwazi ukuthi usheshe umbambe umuntu othwele. Yabo? In that video kwathiwa umbona ngokuthi umuntu uhamba ngenyawo. As much as ngingakhumbuli zonke izinto wazibeka-ke lo mlaphi loyo. Angazi ngizothini, but ngizothi umlaphi phela. But yena-ke lo muntu wayibeka-ke. Washo-ke wathi hayi ngibona ngokuthi futhi uhamba ngenyawo. I think washo nokuthi mengcolile, all those things. Akagezi. First things first, le inyawo. Emakhosini thina sihamba ngenyawo. And abantu abahlala la e-KZN bazongivumela kulento engizoyisho manje. Mozoya emakethe, khona le ndawo esemakethe where you see a lot of healers, right? Or ogobela behamba namathwasana abo. Ugobela ungangambona hamba ngenyawo, but amathwasana akho uzowabona hamba ngenyawo. Uyabo? There's a connection between a person's being, spiritual being, and the earth. Yabo? That connection, I think ngangakhuluma ngayo kancane. Ngenza umzekelo when I made an example of uShabalala, ukuthi yena when he goes shopping, he always obviously uhamba ngenyawo because even nala egcekeni sihamba ngenyawo. Abeza like abasazi ukuthi hayi thina nje sihambela ngenyawo. But there was this one store that umkhulu went to, umkhulu Shabalala, wangena kule stolo lesi. Methu uyangena, uthi igazi lathi igazi lakhe. And he thought ukuthi maybe akaphilanga kahle yabo. So washopha-ke lapho washopha. It's a big retail store nje, nonke ngiyayazi. I don't think I should say the name. Yabo, but nonke ngiyayazi. Yabo, it's just a retail store. Futhi istolo kahle kahle sihamba belungu. It's not into ozothi hawu yabo. So nje wayengayitsheli ukuthi hayi so wathi mhlawumbe uyivukela ukugula kwakhe lokhu kumeyada silapha abantu yabo bese yagula. Uthi mase sephuma lapha lento yathula uyabo. Wavele wathi umoya ke ukhuluma naye wathi khona into lapha ngaphakathi. And it's not necessarily ukuthi leso stolo sinomuthi, but it's more so imithi abantu abalesa stolo that they use on each other. Izwa lento le. You can only feel that and get that if you are merged, your spirit is merged with earth. Uyayibona lento le. Khona indawo mothi unyathela kuzo. Mosangena, especially for mlaphi, this is very important. Mosangena endaweni. Yabo, before you even do if there's a problem there. Umoya wakho ufana usheshe ukhuluma uthi yazini kunezinto ezenzakala ekhaya noma kunezinto noma ifakiwe noma isetshenziswayo kwala ekhaya yabo ezingalunganga. Qaphela, iba wash because whatever is happening yabo it's affecting you. Uyayibona lento le. And that only comes from being one with the earth. So thina sihamba ngenyawo emakhosi. Umuntu umethwasa uhamba ngenyawo. Obviously masusuphothulile kusuyisangoma-ke sekuwumoya wakho kukulawulayo ukuthi whether you continue walking barefoot or kanye uyalona ufake icathulo. But mina-ke no Shabalala, icathulo is not our friend. Uyabo? Kudina-ke wathi nje hayi lento mntana masigqoke. Yabo? 2, mina mengafaka icathulo iy'nyawo zami ziyavuvukala. So isikhathi esiningi uma uzongibona nje isicathulo either uzongibona ngama-sleeping shoes or kanye uzongibona ngobhampa or kanye ama-Crocs laba abazokuthi ama-Crocs or kanye uzongibona nophaqa, so flip-flops, yabo. So if umuntu ezothi how you see isithwala is if umuntu uthwele ukuthi uhamba ngenyawo, that is not true. Angazi-ke eGoli ukuthi kusebenza kanjani, but eMakhosi nje KZN you're gonna see so many healers and so many amathwasana abahamba ngenyawo because it's what we are taught and it's how to connect with it. Yabo? Sithi ngiconnect emhlabeni and understand ukuthi sinyathelaphi, kwenzakalani mesinyathela, uyabo? And understand the differences. Indaba kanti ezwe? Okay. All right. So that was one. What was another thing? We've been discussing so much. Oh, I lay no fusek for off in Japan. That is crazy because number one, I think it's a system was that everybody's trying to do it. Afuna ukuzibona easy, uyabo. Isithembu is I think somebody once said it. What isithembu is a very spiritual thing, uyabo. Isithembu sinabantu baso. It's not for everybody. And isikhathi esiningi umuntu onesithembu usually comes from a line of ithembu, uyabo. They come from a very long line of ithembu, and usually umoya wakhe is very balanced. Isithembu sifuna umuntu onomoya webhubesi. Yabo, wena wabona ibhubesi onomoya webhubesi ukuthi they know when to attack and when to shelter. Uyabo? Abangangizwa-ke angazi ngizokwenza njani, but I don't know how else to explain it, but it requires umoya that is unshakable, umoya oqinile, because also esithembini iningi igeme that happens, abafazi bayathakathana nje the families of the women kuningi iy'ngane like iy'ngane need to understand ukuthi umama omdala, right, let's say mina ngumfazi wesibili, right, iy'ngane zami need to understand that umakoti wokuqala is uma wabo obudala, ne? They need to understand ukuthi above all else lowa muntu uyahlonishwa because umama wabo, just like I am, you know. The children need to have a level of togetherness that cannot be broken. Uyabo? Ukuthi nizalwa Makhosi, ukuthi nizalwa omama abahlukene, leyo nto ayisebenzi lapha. Akhala ukuthi hayi lo noma wakhe esithembini leyo nkulumo ayikho. Uyabo? And I've seen isithembu up close and personal because I have an uncle when you're a huge clan, kunomalume le ongakhulanga naye but umazi masukhulile and nje sinqwabe ekhaya. So there's this uncle that I have. Ubaba wakhe wayenesithembu, umkhulu wakhe lo malume wayenesithembu, and it's gonna affect.
Man, konke ngenzala la vele adlala uphiko lento.
Onke umuntu nje nobhuti bakhe kuyisithembu. If I can tell you, hayi ngoba ngaxatshwana lapha, ngaxatshwana, but the way abumbene ngakhona, the way izinto ezisebenza ngakhona laphayana, it's angazi ngathi angazi lento, but it's both beautiful and difficult to watch. Uyayibona ukuthi hayi impela inzima, but at the same time uyayibona ukuthi yinhle lento uyabo. And you grow up in a home that it has so much love, because even umntwana where umma wakhe uyashona, because they grew up vele with mother 1, mother 2, mother 3, mother 4, they don't necessarily feel isolated ukuthi hey mina ngisenama uyabo, because besuke bekhona abanye omama uyayibona lento le, because you are taken care of. And yeah, kuningi nje bazalwane that I can go into it, but isithembu is a very spiritual thing. Ukuthi manje sekunakhona sekuyimfashini, not to say ukuthi abantu abanithemba abathwele, cha bakhona abathwele futhi baningi abathwele, but isithembu is not an indication of isithwalo. Isithembu is an indication of umuntu who wabizelwa ukuba nesithembu uyabo. Because even imithetho that's around that, like those people are like have so much love to give. Like you see each wife when they deal with them, the level of uthando and respect and everything you would expect in a relationship happening within that, without the level of favoritism we have, or without the level of ukubanga. Abafazi abakhona ngisho ukubanga ngendlela, because they equally are getting what they need to be getting from the person that they're with. Enough said about that. Let me just quickly check. It was so Sanmana. Okay. Yeah. So izinto zeyithwalo, for me, I've only people honestly speak about isithwalo and how to identify umuntu onesithwalo, but kunabantu abathwele in secret that kunzima ukuthi uwazi ukuthi lona uthwele. Umoya wakho kulawulayo nje ukuthi khona something is not make sure lana ukuthi awukakayazi ukuthi yini, but umoya utshela ukuthi is not make sure la khona ungathi akuhambanga kahle uyayibona lento le. And a lot of the time futhi abantu abathwele, they tend to spend money like bayafa kusasa, you know. They spend money like umuntu vele adrophe nje 300,000 ngathi awuyilutho uyayibona lento le. They don't abanayo sense of understanding. It's almost like umuntu uyaqala ukuba nemali, so the way they utilize it ayenzi sense uyayibona lento le, and they always have to utilize it in such indlela ezingaqondakali that now uyibuza uyiphendula ukuthi isiyanhlanyisa noma kwenzakalani. But asikho lapho. Othi ngiphendule nje lo mbuzo. Makhosi, is it possible for umelaphi wendabuko to tell you that you are wasting your time ushade nomuntu wakho to the point that she suggests that there are other people you can pursue? Hey, ubani? Uzothi ubani mkhulu? Sipho. Yes. Hey, mkhulu. Mhlambe awuthi ngiqale ngenze umzekelo ne. Mhlambe uzochazeleka. Before ngizo outright ngichazele. Ngiqala ngomzekelo. Kwaba nomuntu la wayithwasa la ekhaya. Wayeka. All right, lo muntu kuyathwasa ke la ekhaya. Kunesimo songabi nesupport yentwaso. Imele ekhaya kunje uyaphazamiseka, kuhlezi kuphazamiseka. Then kwaba naphupho ke lakho efike kuyena ekhonjiswa umuntu abafisa ukuthi amthathe kube umakoti wakhe. Right. Abamaningi futhi lawo maphupho. Ngase ngithi mina elami lathi angisho ukuthi mshiye. but lo munye umfazi kumele ukuthi umthathile. So what you need to do is uhlalise lo number 1 phansi umtshela ukuthi ngathi abadala bafuna ukuthi uthathe umfazi wesibili, and nomfazi ke bona bafuna ukuvusa ngayo whatever bathi bafuna ukuyivusa, uyabo. Kuzoba kuyena ukuthi ke uyakwamukela lokho noma akakwamukeli, and whatever happens after, but ungaphambani nezinkulumo ezifana nabantu abadala. Bona basho ukuthi as much as mina ngangazi amaphupha akhe athi mushiye lo asimfuni, but it's not for me as a healer to shiya umfazi wakho uthathe lo wesibili. Elami lithi mutshele ukuthi kunomfazi wesibili okhonjiswa yena, so bafuna ukuthi ube nesithembu. So hayi ngoba uzomshiya ngekubishiya, but le yakhiwe ayakheke ngoba bafuna ukuthi ayakhe nalo mfazi wesibili, yabo. So ngamshiya ufuna umthathele lo mfazi wesibili, but have a conversation first nalo kuqala, and then whatever yena idecidayo wena ukwazi ukuthi umnqabe lo wesibili because ufuna abantu abadala, uyabo. Umfazi bona bamkhethile, uyabo, ababona ukuthi uzohambelana nayo yonke into ehambiselana nomoya wakhe, right? Umoya wakhe ugayi, yabo. So to answer your question, Khehla lami, umlaphi cannot tell you to leave your person. Dala mina abantu befika la ngibona ukuthi yabo le relationship ike relationship yasehlathini le, uthola abantu bashadile, umuntu angitshela ukuthi I have been with my man or I've been with my woman for 20 years. Inamba yesho lutho if lento okuyona ayikho right, ayamkelile sona, but ngoba sabantu sithanda into esiyithandayo, uyabo, ayikho into engenzeka. But umlaphi can never under any circumstances tell you ukuthi fanele ushiye umuntu wakho uye komunye uhambe uyobheka abanye. Ngoba another thing is abalaphi but abantu abadala don't want you uhambe ugele events la emgaqweni ushela uqonywa ushiya ushela uqonywa. To put it plainly, abafuna umuntu kamoya ukuthi abe isifebe. Uyindoda or umuntu wesifazane umoya nje usifuna isifebe, yabo. So what they want is bafuna lo mfazi noma bafuna lo mkhwenyana bamfunayo. But it's not the position of umlaphi to tell you that. The person that needs to tell you that, or the people that need to tell you that, yabo, and asimfuni ngezathu sokuthi nokuthi nokuthi, yabo, is abantu bakho. If wena ungayiphuphi lo kunganey'nkulumo ehlangane nokuthi ushiye umuntu wakho, futhi hayi ukuthi umuntu usuphupha umshiya ngoba nakho usufike kumina uMakhosi Thandi. No, lento fanele ngabe already inkulumo ezikhona before you even get to me as the healer. If once wafika kumina and sikhona wrong with relationship yakho, baleka ngeenyawo zombili, baleka ngezinyawo zombili, yabo. There should be a problem in your relationship if you mhlawumbe aduphalaza or adugquma and adukhuleka wenza izinto and khona ungahlaliseki ekhaya, uyabo. And even before you had gotten to me, khona into kuwena adikutshela ukuthi khona off la endlini, uyabo, but ungazi ukuthi yini, and then waphalaza wagquma wabona ngidlisiwe la. But makuthi ayikho lento ukuthi udlisiwe, because into ezokuxosha umuntu ukuthi ukudlisile. Mengakudlisanga ayikho into ezokuxosha umuntu. Ngakho all these people umuntu ungene eshadile kagobela athwasa gobela usephuma useyisitabane. Hayi kabi ey'tabanini, hayi kabi, but facts, you can't go in kagobela and ubumuntu oshadile othanda abafazi. Uneda uthwase nje usuthanda abantu besilisa, noma athi umuntu osifazane uthanda amadoda. Uneda uthwase nje usuthanda abantu besifazane, khona ukushaya amanzi, izinto zokubhekisiswa lezo. You don't just change ubulili othandana nabo ngoba nakhu usuthwasa. Ukuthwasa doesn't affect all those things. I think khona nje ividiyo angayichaza ngathi idlozi angena ekamereni, alingeni nje idlozi ekamereni, idlozi alihlangene ukuthi wenzani ekamereni. Uma kuthi ngishaya inkolo yenu, ngiyayishaya inkolo yenu, usho umkhuleko, idlozi alinandaba nomkhuleko nomshayayo, lona liqhamuka ukuthi lo mkhuleko nalo muntu okhuleka naye ekamereni, lo mkhuleko is not make sure. Yabo. Kodwa uma kuthi unomuntu o-right, then hayi leyo nkonzo yenu hayi izogijima. If you understand. But ngathi ungiphendulile futhi la Kesh. Makhosi, I fully agree. Abantu abadala have shown me so many times ukuthi he is the right partner for me, to a point that they have shown me isipho sokumkhunga umoya wakhe, which his family have accepted. Hayi-ke, so uphendulekile. Akho nje ukuthi usufika kumlaphi. I just have umuntu wesifazane nomuntu wesilisa, ngichazele because I don't understand. Usipho awuchazi ngempela. I just have a problem with some healers use their own opinion to diagnose, and their feelings the healer is supposed to heal and not just yazini Washington ngihlezi ngisho mina, if your healer destroys your relationship or female, okay, ayisalukwazi ke emakhosini, but yeah,
and umlaphi wakhe umuntu wesilisa.
Umlaphi wakho umuntu wesilisa? Ungitshele, umlaphi wakho umuntu wesilisa, ungiphendule salukwazi. I always say this. If umlaphi, ne, your job is forever to, and futhi ke ngingasho ukuthi umlaphi, no, fanele ngis correct nami. Isangoma nenyanga, and I've said this so many times, but I'm saying it now because there's a lot of inkulumo that's going to come from now on, that it's important to understand the two differences, ne? Isangoma, our jobs at all times as izangoma, ukuhlanganisa, yabo, ukuhlanganisa, and to mend broken relationships. Unless the relationship was abusive, unless the relationship, because even an abusive one, we need to understand, was abuse stemming from ubuthakathi, or was it uthanana imbila ithutha? Is it because umuntu umgodoyi that they were abusive? Uyabo, ukuthi angqubuze endlini. Uyayibona lento le. Those are things to understand. Yabo, because ubuloyi can be coming from outside or be coming from within the family. Uyayibona lento le. Okay. My husband's healer is female. The lady is persistent to see me, but I don't want to. The healer wants my husband to break. Uyayibona ke? No, iqedile lapho. Stop nje. Ugeli kwandoda yakho ufana ngaba imhambi nje lo mlaphi loyo. Uyabo? And another thing, unless you don't support or he doesn't coming together, because healing one person needs understanding from the other person. So if the other person is going to at least hear things directly from me, uyabo, ukuthi hayike nasisimo ngingakuhlola uwedwa. Mhlawumbe ngithi unezinto ezithe phecelezi engisafuna ukuthi ngiyihlole, yabo, noma ngiyi-check mhlawumbe, yabo, kumuntu, kodwa umuntu mina ngiyakhuluma naye before they get you. I'm like, all right, uzobufika nomuntu wakho, fine, whatever esihlolayo you come. Njengoba usukuya kadokotela, wena oya ka Dr. Singh laphayana noma ka Dr. Naidoo, uyabo, uya laphayana-ke udokotela akubuze ukuthi hayi-ke are you comfortable with us doing your checkup uyabo uwedwa or is it, or can your partner uyabo participate kind of a thing uyabo sidinga obviously to know from you because I know that there are some people abanezinto abangafisi ukuthi the partner to know because they're not ready for them to know them uyabo so I understand that but if you don't have that issue I prefer when couples are together so that umuntu nje mayi-one ithi ayike nasi isimo ke umuntu kukanje 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 uyabo and you hear everything from me as the healer uyayibona lento le abantu fanele bahlanganiswe bangahlukaniswa ngoba ngisho ama-relationship esiwabonayo ukuthi yabo lawo hayi le relationship ayikho right and ayibusisiwe and abantu abadala abayifuni asiyiphawuli because it's not our business wena mani-deep emjolweni wakho nomkhwenyana wakho noma moni-deep emjolweni nentombi yakho noma whoever noma nendoda yakho whoever that you're with if you need deep in it it's not my place to comment uyabo mina kuphela it's to guide you on spiritual things okunye nokunye nomjolo nanani that's between wena and your ancestors bazoyilungisa and I always trust that minuta yeah thina we tool yabo sidlu shut up nje siqhubeke nempilo because at the end of the day what I can deal with may not be what you can deal with yabo and what you can deal with is maybe something I won't deal with I mean I always say with people with partners ne and this is just my personal advice if your partner does not support you in a manner that has respect phakathi because umuntu angahambiselana nento zamoya but in doing that doesn't mean they need to disrespect you if umuntu does disrespect and we've seen couples come here sibona ama-spouses abo abe disrespectful not to us as the healers babe disrespectful to abantu abafike nabo ngibona ukuthi yabo mina kuthiwa indoda yami ikhuluma nje noma if ushabalala mina ngumfazi wakhe ngikhuluma nje I should not be with him that marriage nje is over yabo because if umuntu ehluleka ukuhlonipha phambi kwabantu how much more disrespect nencindezi ophila ngaphansi kwayo endlini in private because what somebody is willing to show in public they do 10 times worse in private mina noma sixabane noshabalala ngoba siyaxabana ngoba singaxabani bazalwane ushabalale nje ubuya ngi-irritate buye kuvuka nomoya ke kuba ingxova dem nje ungayi-understand naye ngibuye ngim-irritate kubuye kuba ingxova dem nje ungayi-understand but the one thing we never do is allow our frustrations with each other to be in public. Whether kunamathwasana lana or kunjani asivumi nje ukuthi ungabe right kwethu kuvele ngaphandle. Ngafundiswa mina ke ekhaya ke ukuthi menginenkinga nomkhwenyana wami mhla phansi hayi manje baba isithini vele xoxeni kwenzakalani like why ngabo endlini sisodwa siba u2 because even ingane zethu azazi masixabene because sihlezi sihleka thina sixabana sihleka uthola ukuthi somebody cannot respect you in public that person has no right or space of your spiritual space because umuntu wedlozi mhlawumbe ngiyabona wabantu abadala because even naye ufika nezinto zakhe umuntu irrespect is the core of their being because nathi sidile nabantu ubona ukuthi kubila igazi but because ulawulo idlozi kunezinto ohlahlala ubuya nganene kuzona yabo that's just nje my personal advice on relationships but otherwise nje no healer has a right to comment on your relationship no healer has a right to tell you to leave or stay within your relationship I see people all the time. I've never not once had a person I've told ukuthi shiya leyo ndoda or shiya leyo mfazi or whatever. Umlaphi uyahlanganisa aka-destroy. Because even when families bethakathana, I mean, I always tell people ukuthi mugweme lo not ukuthi ihamba kuyomhlasela ukuthi no. Wena zivikele ugweme umuntu umozivikela umuntu uzothi uyakuthumela ngezinto ziphinde emuva. Return to sender bazalwana kubona ukuthakatha ukuzivikela. Wena mongijikela ngetshe yabo ngibe ngiphethe ibet yabo ngibe ngiphethe into yokuyithinta back into izokwenza njani izobounce ibuye emuva mase libuyele emuva likushaya bese uzothi bukumtha no ushaya udonga ibhola la bounce la zokushaya esiphongweni mase usuduzuka kusondaba yami le uyabo sangoma omlaphi oyinyanga uthakatha ucele hayi ufike ekhaya ke nathi sizomthakatha kundosi uyabo inyanga ke khuluma kanjalo ngaze ngambiza undosi inkosi yami ugogo as much as ugogo phela wayengasifuni kodwa hayi phela angaze afika emaphupheni namhlanje athi mntanami dala ngikulindile uyisangoma ngiyazi ukuthi nje nganganifuni noma yenu kodwa manje hayi akahlale kanjalo undosi angilinganise ngesinye hayi mina manje la-ke ikhekhe ne-topping yabo ngiyatholana impela nabantu bakaNcube so yeah uzofika umuntu athi hayi ungoba uyangithakatha hayi no ufike ekhaya-ke bese-ke ashaye back inyanga-ke leyo and I think that's why a lot of people and I'm going to say this nje side note ngiyafisa in the healers kulaba abangistalkayo nalaba-ke nje that genuinely have a love for me and abangilandelayo la abathwasa umndawo akeke sike sihlale sixoxe ngoba ningi into engifuna ningichazele zona engakayi-understand ngoba ngangachazelwa umuntu mina owathwasa eMozambique and also umakhe wami owayengakhela la ekhaya usashona God rest in peace lo wayengakhela la before ashone wangitshela ukuthi udadewabo umndawo ukuthwasile uyisangoma and sasitholana-ke nalo makhe wami impela nje ngoba hayi sahlezi nje ngenza sure ukuthi amafikile makhe no drinking nani sihlale sixoxe siphuze awo-drink bethu sibe right sihleke angichazele-ke into ezomndawo-ke iy'nkulumo yena wanginika zona versus what I'm seeing in Joburg is two different things. So I'd love for labantu laba bathwasa umndawo abalaphi bamndawo bake bangichazele ukuthi what khan an ngoba I'm seeing a lot of izinto zasemakhosini happening or ama-clips or videos for abantu abathi bathwasa umndawo but are doing even ukugida kwabo uthola ukuthi bagida njengamakhosi bazalwane ngihlale nokucamagu mina ngihlale nabantu abathwasa umakhosi because vele nami umakhosi sigodla ngaphuma kusona umakhosi I've met a few mdawe people abathwase ngale none of us gida the same way none of us sing the same way, you know. None of us do things the same way. So ngiyathuka mina mengizobona izinto zasemakhosini kamndawe angixeke bazalwane I'm curious ngizibona kamndawe in Joburg but then inkulumo nani is a lot of things that are relative to amakhosi that are relative to how Tina, we do things. When I've sat with abantu bakaCamagu, amaXhosa and Zulus, it's almost the same language. That's why abantu bakaZulu baya understand only those few things I understand of and doing all these things, they're very different. Into zakaCamagu nakamakhosi very different. Uyabo? Khona umlaphi othwasa uCamagu engangamsiza ngesithunywa sakhe ngamsiza ke ngamlungiselela isithunywa sakhe savuka after because she'd been a healer before I was born naye yambona uCamagu wawusasebenza at that time wafika no who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Hey, yena-ke uhu yambona ukunani. Yeah, so uhu wafika-ke nalo gogo. Lo gogo has been a healer for over 30 years. Isithunywa-ke ngamlungiselela 30 years later-ke sengiyisango. Mlungiselela-ke isithunywa sakhe, we got into conversations. Even nayo into angichazela zona, even the people that I've dealt with abangichazela zona, very different uMakhosi noCamagu. But we of the same Twani, we all Nguni people. Uyabo? And we Nguni people, but we don't do the same things. But we're of the same people. Ngithi kuthiwa sonke sabangu.
Yes.
It's all Nguni people. Ngiyaxolisa angakangeni ngisho nakukujula kweinkulumo engithi ngizilethile, but lezi zinto esihlezi silalela from abantu abafundile. Mina bazalwane, I'm not gonna lie to you, and ngiyafisa ukuthi abantu abangilandelayo, for them to understand this. Ayikho into angayitshelwa mina umuntu ofundile with regards to spirituality. Gogo nomkhulu.
I think labantu abahamba beyofunda ngathini
Our history.
what ibizwa ngani, like so ikhohliwe was the subject core, but basically it's about tradition and deceit and all that nonsense. Abayifunda university.
Yeah, so history and culture and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so ngicacise mhlawumbe I hope nimzwile umkhulu. Ufuna ngibe clear. Mina, somebody that has learned about religion, history of like religion and culture, ayikho into angayitshela yena nebhuku lakhe ne-textbook yakhe yase-UNISA or yase-WITS or yase-UKZN, wherever Rhodes, wherever la ufunda khona. Because the one thing that I know, abelungu will never allow us knowledge to let us empower ourselves. Uyabo? Abelungu still have inyawo zabo. Abelungu still have inyawo zabo to our necks. Abelungu still bayasicindezela. Uyayibona le nto. Noma ngasihlekela kuba mnandi kuba njani, but still sisacindezelekile. Akekho umuntu afika kuphuce umhlaba wakho, afika kuphuce ulwazi lokhokho bakho, ofika kuhlukanise nesintu nosiko lakini, aphinde azokunika amabhuku akufundisayo ngesintu nosiko lakini. That will never happen. Ngeke umuntu akuphuce into bese yakunika futhi athi hayi noku-right funda. Bese faka iqiniso lodwa. That's just not true. Uyabo? So knowing that alone tells me I cannot trust a textbook engiyithole e-library or engiyithole e-university ngosiko lami. Uyabo? Into mina engayikholelwa umuntu ozongifundisa ngomlando wami, ozongifundisa ngokhokho bami, ozongifundisa ngosiko lami kwamakhehla nezalukwazi in these different villages, in these different places around our country, uyabo, and tell me the knowledge that was passed down to them. Uyena kumuntu engamlalela, angeke ngikwazi ukuthi lalela umuntu owahamba wafunda wathola, because a lot of things efike siyitshele ngomoya bese uzibona mhlambe in a video, you just like, but mina umoya wami angitshela ukuthi, and it's happening exactly the way I was told. So what must happen? Fanele ngilalela umoya wami noma fanele ngilalela umuntu ozongitshela nge-textbook ayifundile. I saw these videos ey'khola kuthiwa ayikho into ekuthiwa isibongo nani kwakunjani kwaphela kanjani, angazi nonsense nje, kuthiwa ayikho into ekuthiwa isibongo. It was igama, and like mhlambe umuntu wayeqanjwa ngento adume ngayo, like mhlambe wayezingeli, uyabo, mhlambe wahlamba ibhubesi bese kwathiwa isibongo sakhe kubhubesi. So then everybody after that uses a clan name, the yobhubesi. the only truth to that for me is no there's characteristics or habits or things and kodwa futhi umuntu ozofika la ku-YouTube angibize ngale gama abanye into ongayi-understand umkhulu wami when I was young when I used to walk nganginezinqe ey'nkulu nginezitho yabo mengiwalka kwakuney'nkukhu ekhaya emafamu when I used to walk indlela izinqa zami zayinyakaza ngayo iy'nkukhu mey'hamba emva zayishikizela iy'nkukhu type of a situation, right? So wangiqamba umashikishiki ngakhula ngumashikishiki and when I walk angazi ngathi I'm like ngathi ngiyidada yabo ibizwa ngani baba lento yeah but nginokuhamba ngathi ngiyidada
uyabhadazela
baba phela mususho kanjani
cha phela bhadaza ukubhadazela
kona lokho-ke kodwa-ke so I do that so ngabe umashikishiki so manje zonke iy'ngane ey'qhamuka kumina sekuzothiwa omashikishiki like it just came it's a name so then it's the children of mashikishiki like make it make sense ayikho mina indlela umuntu angichazela ngayo ngitshela ukuthi isibongo kwakuyinto engekho isibongo into ekhona ukuthi mhlampe-ke into esingayi-argue-isho ukuthi iy'bongo zavuka kanjani uyabo le nto le but ukuthi into esibonga ayikho no guys bazalwane aseku ukudlala iy'fundiswa ezifuna ukuzositshela ngesintu uma ufuna ukufunda isintu in its truest form hambe kwamakhehla laphaya ahlale la kahlale ney'nsizwa akhulume ney'nsizwa ayifundisa indlela zokuphila then those people will tell you about the truest form of culture because landing to the topic at hand mhlawumbe fanele ngenza ukuthi kube ku-part 1 lo bese ngithi part 2 na ngiyichaza kahle wangizoyifunda because nami angifunda le-video beyinda kakhulu kunosiko ne usiko bese ukhona isiko right angakafiki kuyinto zamoya kunosiko nesiko right afuna uyichaza shaka umehluko
usiko nesiko uthe inkonje isiko ne
isiko
all right so isiko into eyenziwa isizwe esithize isiko into eyenziwa isizwe esithize so ngizohlambisela ngithi
kwaZulu
kwaZulu
amaZulu
mangabe mhlawumbe ingane ikhuliswa or mangabe ikhuliswa ingane kunezinto ezenziwayo ukuthi ingane ikhuliswa lonto leyo iyafana
njengomemulo
umemulo nje owaZulu uyafana ufana wonke yonke indawo ney'godi ey'hlukene kwenza umemulo kwenza into eyodwa
yes
yabona nani futhi liqiniso uma usubonile ukuthi okay sengifuna ukushada yabo
ngiyalotsholwa
kunesiko olilandwayo okay kanti ngaphandle kwelotsholwa kuyembeswa kuyagcagcwa kanjalo kanjalo umfazi uyathela ngenyongo aphumele esibayeni yonke lonto leyo yenziwayo into efanayo yenziwa ngendlela eyodwa ayishintshi isiko-ke
siko-ke leli lakaZulu-ke so it doesn't matter which part of KwaZulu that you go to isigodi nesigodi it doesn't matter where you go when you're within Zulu people all of Zulu people follow the same processes regarding lama siko-ke lawo ne so njengayo ukuthi intombazane mhlawumbe mayikhuliswa izokwenza umemulo into kanjalo ukuthi yenzelwa imbeleko into kanjalo ne
Isiko-ke lelo.
isiko-ke lelo
Yabo.
Yabo.
NakaXhosa banosiko lakhona.
yeah nakaXhosa phela banesiko
Batswana, Ndebele, kunosiko lakhona.
yeah so every single ngizothini culture has its own practice, right? So abantu bakaSuthu, abeSuthu have their own cultural practices, and abantu abamaTswana have their own cultural practices. Abantu abamaXhosa have their own cultural practices, and abantu abamaVenda have their own cultural practices. Yisiko ke lelo. Then bese kuba ke usiko ke ngizokuchaza mina. Usiko is so but sometimes ngiyenzeka ukuthi ngigodi like this ukuthi kwenziwa kanje yebo lento leyo it's not a common thing that's why kuke khuluma ukuthi uphumaphi yabo yeah but it's mainly a tradition that is done within a family or a clan angisho njalo a clan not a family a clan so let's say abantu baka Makhanya njengoba Makhanya amakhanya banosiko lakhona right abantu bakaNdlovu banosiko lakhona abantu bakaShabalala banosiko lakhona abantu bakaNgcobo banosiko lakhona abantu
Chaza uthi manje
like
umzekelo nje ne. Kunabantu abakaNgcobo abagcabayo. Yabona. Kunabantu abangcobo abagcabayo ebusweni. Ebese ngicela ukuthi uqiniseke ukuthi kuhambe nangesigodi.
yeah
Ngoba khona abantu abangcobo abagcabayo.
yeah
Bese kukhona abantu abangangcobo abangachabi. Then futhi-ke sonke siyazi angisakhumbuli ukuthi ngabani la ekunqunywa khona umuntu leso sibongo leso.
yeah kanje kabani however yeah I know kunesibongo laba abanquma khona umuntu
Usiko lakhona ingane mayizele isencane
umuntu
so isibongo lesibongo kunosiko lakhona futhi-ke usiko ngashintsha
based on isigodi umuntu aphuma kusona ukuthi mhlambe bonke abantu ngizothi abakaNdlovu eMgababa for example amaNdlovu baseMgababa bonke when a child is born ufike enzelwe imbeleko bese ehlatshelwa iskapu as well right that's an example usiko yebo lalapha ekhaya and mhlambe nala esigodini esiphuma kusona but uthola ukuthi moya kaNdlovu kwamaphumulo for example abantu bakaNdlovu kwamaphumulo ingane mayizelwe bayihlabela iskapu kuphela uyayibona leyo nto leyo that's of usiko uyabo and the problem is that abantu abaningi are confusing the two one two people are doing things eziphambana nosiko lasekhaya. Now this is where Nokwamoya comes into play, right? The reason why into zomsamo like I've discussed umsamo here on YouTube ne.
Oh la uthiyela la uthi ongubane.
Yes.
No malungwa.
Angibazi abantu bamalungu but ongubane yes.
No mlungu. Yes, mlungwane. Abangubane ucicane.
Yes, ucicane umuntu angizwani ukuhlala ngikhona isikhathi side but yeah qinisile sibonge bengithini manje yes hence why ke abalaphi abaningi bahlolo umsamo we teach about it like nami I've spoken about umsamo but khona la ngingayikhona because umsamo is like the ocean it's so broad uyabo there's no one person ongayilawula indaba yomsamo. Yabo? I think kufanele nje do this. She shoot the thing, the clip. Yabo? Shoot the clip. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so njoba kunosiko nesiko, indaba ke yesiko nosiko, it gets so confused. And when we go into then umsamuke, right? Because umsamu is ulawulwa usiko lasekhaya, yabo? Awulawulwa yisiko ukuthi kwenziwa kanje. Ulawule usiko lasekhaya, right? So, nansi ke into efikishayo, why a lot of people athi umuntu kudala ngibiza abalaphi ngilungisa indaba yomsamo, ingalungi. Ayilungi because your healer is yet to understand umsamo wakini. Uyayizwa le nto le ukuthi usiko, right? That's very important. Uku-understanda ukuthi usiko lasekhaya luthini. Uyayibona le nto le? Yes, there's a general knowledge umlaphi is going to have, or thina-ke as abalaphi that we have, regarding umsamo. Guided by masesifika-ke lapho, or umuntu simhlolile, samhlola-ke kwanquma usuku ukuthi hayi kuzoyiwa-ke ekhaya-ke kuyokwenziwa into ey'thile. When we get there, kunezinye izinto ezizovela ezobe zisilawula ezithinta usiko lalapho ekhaya. For example, ne, kubalulekile uku-understand ukuthi lapho kulelo khaya yayihlatshwa yini imbuzi. Lapho kulelo khaya abantu babelenza yini, like, did they practice tradition, uyabo? And if they didn't, is it because balahla usiko noma baba abantu ngoba babekhuleka? Uyayibona le nto le? You need to understand ukuthi, okay, mekuthi imbuzi abayihlabi, bahlaba ini? Bahlaba imvu, so bahlaba isikabhu noma benza inkukhu, ngoba kunabantu abenza inkukhu kuphela. Yabo, that's as far as they allow abantu abadala balapho. Yabo, for whatever reason, yabo. And if umlaphi doesn't understand usiko lala ekhaya, because as much as okunye uzokutshelwa umuntu oze yena, but you can't rely only on that information because uthola ukuthi ulwazi analo is limited. You have to have umoya ozokulawula, and hence why ngenza ivideo ngachaza ngathi the best people to ukwenza into zomsamo okulungisa umsamo ekhaya abantu ababathandaza abayizithunywa, yabo, abaprofethi abayizithunywa, because bano umoya wabo uyashesha udonsa yonke into, udonsa into zomthandazo. Uyayibona le nto le? So if you are going to get a healer that's ozokulungiselela umsamo, you're going to get isangoma ekuzolungiselela umsamo, must ukuthi get isangoma esinesithunywa nedlozi, because la kuzofike kucishe edlozini kuzovuka esithunyweni ngoba bazali nje lisifake ehlathini zicishe izibani, kodwa isithunywa ngeke silahlekise. Isithunywa sisilahlekise, hence why kodwa Nkosi yami ngithulisa ingane yami, yabo. Angithulise ngingedistract. Isithunywa ngeke sikulahle, uyabo, and isithunywa sidonsa everything that surrounds it. It's not just about idonsa umoya wabantu abadala, udonsa umoya wedlozi. Bakwazi ukuthi bakhulume nabantu immediately, kube nomuntu ozokhuluma kube ngathi ukhala la uzothi kukuthi njengoba singena la kukuthi. Uyayibona le nto le? Uzokhanyisa izibani akwazi ukudonsa umoya, whereas lapha edlozini kufanele kuqala ukushisa impepho, but And kuningi okudala lokho, it's not because hlampe they don't do into zamadlozi or they balahla amadlozi, but something happened eyathi la ekhaya sakwazi ukushisa impepho ngoba hlampe khona umuntu owathwebula idlozi ekhaya or khona umuntu owabula lapha ekhaya, uyabo? So kumele bane adonse umoya enza ukuthi ithini into yala ekhaya so that umsamo umuntu uzoluka. Angithi ibambe lapho today.
Yeah, it's already been an hour.
Yeah. Ay mhlamba asike sibone ukhona ufuna ukungena kwi-live mhlawumbe khona ufuna ukubuza ini angibashele noma ngiqhuma ngiyifakile. Ngizuma ngiyifakile ne. Oh ngoba silwize impi. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give it about 10 minutes because it's already been an hour. I'm gonna give it so besiqhubeze lempilo lempilo. Lenkulumo le think sobona mhlambe Wednesday umoya movumile bazalwane kubuye kwenzeka izinto la kubuye sibuye siphile i-action movie sibuye siphile i-action movie and thola ukuthi yeah imshanelo ebusuku ibhizi imshanelo yabantu so mina I think I've said this so many times mina mesidila nezinto ezi-imminent noma mesilapha indaba yokuthi nje ngizobe ngenza amavidiyo ngoba ngisuke ngilapha nina futhi engiqhamuka na ku-YouTube nithi hayi Makhosi sikuzwile ukuthi yabo ngicela ukuthi ungisize or whatever uyabo enithumayo la ekhaya so ngibe ngingakwazi bazalwane ngixolela nginikhonzile kodwa ngikhathele futhi yaza amehla ami nje awezuthi adonsa kanzima. But yeah, so I'm gonna give it 10 minutes. Mekuthi khona ofuna ukungena ke kwi-live kathi uxoxa nami mhlawumbe angibuze into afisa ukungibuza zona. I'll wait 10 minutes. While I go into something else, yes. Bazalwane ngicela ukuthi siyilawule le nkinga ne. Nginikhonzile and ngiyazi ukuthi ngumuntu ozekelayo. Omsangano nje uthanda ukuthi wasixoxele kuba mnandi kube njalo but ngicela ngingazama ukungihlaniphela ke laba abakabazama ukungihlaniphela please don't if nifuna uku-order iphika noma ningibuza ngogwayi noma ningibuza ngani I think as I said 10 minutes if abantu bangi-request-ke then ngizoyivala but yeah so if nizongibuza ngoku-order ugwayi or uku-order iphika noma ujazi or whatever like order ngiyithenge ngicela bandla sisizane la ukuthi ningafiki ningibuzeke izinto-ke regarding ordering that nginiphendule and then bese nifuna ukungena ngalokho-ke bese nithi ayi manje Makhosi bengisacela ukubuza bengisacela ukubuza Makhosi bengisacela ukubuza isiphike sukuthi sichaza ukuthini or ujazi ukuthi uchaza ukuthini that's not the platform for that yabo ngicela ningangibuza lezo zinto because nifuna ukuthi ngingene ey'nhlolweni uyabo ayi bavukwa yini abadala ingane wale ingane endala bayazi ukuthi it's not the platform for that
Yeah. The message from Usiko.
There's a message. Yeah.
See, Makhosi, what are the signs to show whether Umelaphi is a scammer or a real healer? There are some abangigila.
Lo mbuzo ulula and unzima at the same time. Uyabo? Ulula and unzima at the same time, whether to see umlaphi is a scam or not. Because inking ifike la, ne? Inking ifike la. Siyalapha, and I've come across this problem. Ukuthi lapha umuntu imithetho ayibekile angayilandeli. Uyabo? Momtshelile for example uthi ngicela ungalali nentombi yakho. Njengoba usebenzisa lezi zinto, ngicela ungalali nendoda yakho. Umuntu ahamba yolala endodeni noma ahamba yolala entombini, uyabo? Angasho. But where there's supposed to be at with the healing process, uyambona mase ukuthi akekho lapho. Yabo? Uzibuza uziphendula uthi hayibo bantu abadala ayiboni ngilahlile yini lento enganyakaza ngale ndlela engilindele ukuthi izonyakaza ngayo. Kanti impendulo masibuya ithini? Hayi man lo muntu lo uphambana nemithetho oyibekile. Umtshela umuntu ukuthi ngicela ukuthi ugqume zonke izinsuku. Umuntu agqume once a week. How? Lento isebenze. Mina into zami, like for example, khona isiwasho engingisikhiphe ngithi umuntu agqume ngaso. Leso siwasho ngiyazi ukuthi at minimum sihlala u3 weeks. Yabo? At maximum sihlala inyanga 4 weeks. Uyabo? Kwenza ukuthi sisheshe siphele depending ukuthi umuntu naye bekala kanjani yabo. But sihlala inyanga. Umuntu bezosebenzisa leso siwasho sokugquma and see at a month and a half sengiyazi ukuthi hayi lo bengagqumi every day. Uyabo? Bengayenzi lento ade ngisho. Khona ukuthi umuntu ngimnike isiwasho sokuphalaza. Ngiyazi ukuthi lesiwasho sokuphalaza uphalaza nje kabili ngaso mhlambe kulesi sokuphalaza kabili. Ngiyazi ukuthi mhlambe lesi uphalaza inyanga yonke noma lesi uphalaza 3 weeks mhlambe. Umuntu azongitshela ngenyanga esibili ukuthi hayi sizophela ke izinto. Hawu, inyanga esibili sizophela kanjani lezi zinto fanele kudala ngabe zaphela. Ngabo? Abantu mesibalapha, they don't do things the way they're supposed to. And then when things don't happen that they're meant to happen, they do things the way we're supposed to be doing them. Uyabo? Umuntu asezibeka icala yena. Because mina mawahambile walala nendoda yakho noma walala nentombi yakho mina ngeke ngikubuze uzosithulela. Uyabo? Just like mina ngimtshela umuntu ukuthi njengoba ngizokulapha ngicela ukuthi masusuqala izinto engizobe ngikunika zona ungamboni omunye umlaphi ungakuyohlola ukuyolona ukuyothola into zokulashwa noma usebenzisa even insipho ozobe uyinika omunye umlaphi ungayisebenzisi kanye nezinto zami because I know ukuthi sometimes people go to famous healers noma umuntu afuna ukusebenzisa izinto zabantu abadumile noma atshele zona ukuthi hey mwathenga into ukuthi umlaphi ukuthi avisebenza yabo afuna ukuphuthumela izinto ezikanjalo kanti lezi zinto ezikanjalo uthola ukuthi ziqhamuka kwabantu abathwele or ziqhamuka kwabantu abathakathayo or ziqhamuka kwabantu abangahlanzekile isiphambana nezinto zami asebenzike lapho kuwena ngoba uzixubile and mina wathi ngakutshela umthetho wenze enye into khona nje umuntu owathi wafika la ekhaya ngangimtshelile ukuthi angangibhanqi nomunye umlaphi wangibhanqa nomunye umlaphi ngamisa emnyango ngathi asibambe lapho ngitshela ukuthi uphumaphi wathi hayi ngathi uyangazi ukuthi njani ngicela ukuthi uvele ube neqiniso uhlambululeke hayi washo wathi hayi no wayengazanga for i-cleansing kwakufanele ukuthi ayohlambulula after esenzisa izinto wangeza waze wafika ngenyanga esibili kanti wayesephuma komunye umlaphi nado wafika athi nje idlozi lami lo ngabisamngenisa la esigodlweni uphuma kumlaphi othile omunye ngamfonela esasekhaya esaplana ukuza la ngathi ngicela ungisize ke mntanami ungabisangifikela ngoba kwakhuluma igazi lathi angibone enye ivideo kanti mengibona lapho idlozi lami nani ngitshela ithi mntanami ngicela ukuthi uvule le zinto zenu kunento ozohlangabezana nayo same time yabo lapho angazi ukuthi ngivule ziphi izinto should I open YouTube should I open like kanti ngithi ngisazibuza ngisaziphendula ngani message from a friend of mine engithumelela ivideo Akazi lo mngane wami ukuthi ngithumele le video nje bengisazibuza ngisayiphendula ubona ukuthi idlozi lisebenza kanjani. Hayi methenge le message ungithumelela ivideo enye ngathi yabona-ke linaseke isicefeke sezinto engayifuni. But ngathi ngoba idlozi lami belishilo ukuthi angivulele iy'nto zami wathi ngivulele video hawu nangu nje umuntu lapho kulowo mlapho usesontweni lakhe kulo mlapho umoya wami ongamfuna ukufa yabo. So there's that side ukuthi it's not necessarily ukuthi umlaphi is a scammer, but abantu esibalaphayo bayasigila. So into zethu azibasebenzeli because bafika vele with ukuphambanisa izinto. Then khona ukuthi umlaphi ke a true scammer ozoshesha uyibambe yabo. Because ngicabanga ukuthi uSipho newubuza lo mbuzo utha umuntu onomoya, right? As umuntu wamoya mongena esigodlweni somuntu, in fact awukangeni ngisho esigodlweni yabo, masangena egcekeni lomlaphi khona into kuwena efanele imemeze ethi ngifike la ngifanele ngithobe khona uyabo. Because umuntu wamoya ne it doesn't matter whether umuntu wedlozi noma umuntu wabantu abadala, kunento ethi fanele ngifike ngithobe la ngikhona, noma kunento ezothi ya ngihleli nogogo nomkhulu la, ngihleli nabantu abadala uyabo. Awubaboni, but you can feel there's a presence that is beyond you, right? So by the time ungena esigodlweni uneshoyo ukuthi and it manifests itself differently for everybody, right? But khona into ezothi khaxa njengopeace ofithayo ukuthi ayuyafitha lo peace la ungufake khona. If you don't feel that level of presence and you feel like ungene nje at another house yabo, ngathi ungene kamakhelwane, again umlaphi loyo. If ungene ekumuzi and ungene esigodlweni somuntu and ushawa uvalo, uyazi ukuthi umuntu osenzisa imithi emibi. If ungena somewhere akho muntu la, but at the same time there's an unsettling feeling uyabo. Khona ukuthi uyezwa ngathi uvacate, ngathi ungene kuyihholo enganabantu
ungazi ngabazi futhi mosuyizwa.
So ungathi ku-empty, but at the same time ngathi kuney'poki yabo, ngathi ungene endaweni nje kodwa kuney'thunzi, uyazi ukuthi ungene esigodlweni somuntu othwele. Baleka ngey'nyawo zombili-ke
ungakangeni-ke khona-ke phakathi wafica ulayini nje abantu aba-more than 10.
Hayi-ke lapho-ke usukude kakhulu.
Wafica ulayini wa-more than 10 baleka.
Yeah.
Alikho nje idlozi engasebenza abantu more than 3 ngosuku baleka.
U10 nje singaphusha.
U10 ayingeke kanzima kodwa.
Kanzima.
U10 loyo uphusha nobani? Mawunamathwasa-ke more than 4 or 5 ke.
Yeah,
wenza ku10-ke wabantu ngosuku. But if kuwumuntu nje eyedwa mhlawumbe nomfazi wakhe noma nendoda yakhe yena yedwa nje ngeke.
Yabona nje mina sengishaya
nje baleke ungabusangena nje jika nje.
Ya mafica nje iline ngathi useklinikhi. Iskema lesa kulona idlozi. It doesn't matter noma kuthiwa lapha or kuthiwa vesebenza. Mafica uline ngathi useklinikhi. Awukho kumlaphi, ukumuntu osenza ngeyilwane.
Enye into futhi. Beke wafika endaweni ubheka umlaphi kuthiwa hayi uqala wahlala laphana uzoshiya igama nesibongo.
Uyajapha. Hayi lawa.
Hayi baba. Abazi abantu.
Hayi mama. Yo ukuthi kakhulu.
Phela iqiniso lungile ngilifela iqiniso.
Uzofela iqiniso ukushela abantu bayo.
Ngishaya nezozi. Wangena kuthiwa ngena la usho ubani and laba kho umuntu or mhlawumbe khona izinto
labo nostoli or these statues.
Yabona-ke lapho-ke mawuphuma lapho goduka. Mawuthi likhona ithuba lokugoduka. Mawuthi alisekho-ke ayilungile sohlala ulalele-ke then mase uyahamba ungabusabuye lapho.
Yeah, so basically to the show Shabal. Oh, the only time ukhipha igama nesibongo sakho is phambi komlaphi. If you have to go into another room to go and uyozethula uyozibika ukuthi ubani uze ngani usukhuluma nesilo sakhona lapha awukhulumi nedlozi awukhulumi nabantu abadala abantu abadala bafuna wena phambi kwabo uzongena and then because abalapha abafani yabo yabo njengami nje mina la ekhaya mesinihlola or even when I do online consultations yabo ngiyabhema ngoba ngiyezwa ukuthi ngiyasindelwa manje when I do online consultations or mengihlola abantu esigodlweni I always want igama nesibongo somuntu igama lakhe liphelele nesibongo sakhe asisebenzisayo bese ngifuna isibongo sasekhaya komalume bese ngifuna isibongo sasekhaya kobaba bese so I want the surnames of your grandparents and your surname ekhaya right that's what I want mengizokuhlola yabo futhi angikubuza i-personal especially nje ngikubuza izinto engikubuza zona in terms of your surname and then makuthi uthi awusazi futhi mangitshe nje igama lakho eliphelele nesibongo sisebenzisayo then siyahlola bese kwakhona-ke lo 1-2 people abawopopayo bese bekutshela ukuthi uyislim umuntu akutshele isibongo singekho akutshela igama elingekho mina ngeke ngidlale ngawe usuke usukhokhile so what I'm going to do is ngeke ngikutshela ukuthi yazini uzongibhedela uzongivivinya ngoba mina ngibatsheliwe abantu angibafuni mina abantu abazongivivinya mina dala ngabe ithwasa ngayeka indaba yokuthwasa I'm not about to play those games with people so mina mazongitshela umbhedo either ngizokutshela ukuthi angiboni lutho or kanye ngizokuhlola nami umbhedo lo ufunayo ngoba clearly uzela ukuthi ngikuhlola umbhedo so nami ngizokuhlola umbhedo ngitshela wonke umsangano ongawucabanga uyabo bese ngiyasithulela ke ngoba usuyikhokhile imali yakho we're not playing those games ufuna ukulahla mina I'm that healer if you want Gampela to be helped I'll help you but inonsense bazalana ngiyifuna because I've also yazini angiyela uthini uMorongo
the last lap reminds me of the sangoma my dad used to go to. He died a horrible death.
Hayi bo, uthini manje?
Uthi phela yilo uthi hayi ngena la usho ukuthi ubani uze ngane.
Ha,
before ngene esigodlweni futhi inomla blow.
Bazalwane balekani ngezinyawo.
Okay. Then kusuba khona la uthi igama englisho
Udlamini kodwa.
uLosithupha. uLosithupha Dlamini utold the gogo, constant yawning during prayer isithunywa suka sesifikile. Is it a good thing or kwamele wenze something to straighten it out?
I understand umbuzo.
Uthi ubona uma lokhu uzamula uthandaze ne. Uthi ke isithunywa suka sesifikile yini? So that's the first question. Sesifike isithupha. And then isithupha. So uthi constant yawning during prayer. So sesifike isithupha. Let me say uyabona futhi is it a good thing or kwamele enze something to straighten it out or uthi uzayivimba lo ukuthi ngabenzeka.
Ayangayivimba. Muzamula ke nje like I think I've said this ukuthi ithunywa zethu azicommunicate ngokufana ne. Njengami ke mina siyazamula strong. Njengoba ade ngithimula nanani and bengakaze ngibheme ngeqa ukubhema. But mekwisithunywa uzozamula a lot. Njengami there are other indicators but I'm getting ngizinginabe kona manje. But ukuthimula ke nanani ke kusokuyidlozi ke lezo zinto ke lezo. Yabona ukubona ke idlozi ke. But also there are people that fake it so but yeah, isithunywa sesifikile it's not a bad thing. suke sesifuna ukukhuluma, yabo. Now it's a matter of understanding ukuthi yini esivimba ukuthi sikhulume, because I would first suggest ukuthi yabo masulokhu uzizwa uzamula amade ukhuleka, hlala phansi, uvumela ubuthongo uma ukuthi usuzizwe engathi kuyasinda amehlo, yabo. Uma uzizwa engathi usindelwa amehlo, because that's usually the next step for me, where ngizozamula. If I do it once or twice or even 3 times, it's fine. But once I look at clean and someone, hey, yabo look at clean. So the communication is now urgent. So hlala phansi, unabe, umozwa ngathi ngeke ngathi kuyasinda uvela ucimeze. Shosho uzozumeka, yabo. Mozumeka ke isiyasofika ke sikhulume. Immediately masiqeda ukukhuluma, record what isithunywa said, because abantu bayakhohlwa, yabo. So just record what was said. Mase sesiqedile ke abathanda ukubhala ke babhale phansi, but yeah, just make sure that you jot down whatever that was said, because isithunywa sesikhulumile ke. Kodwa mawuzamula kuphela, that means ukuthi sifikile, but uqhubekeke nomkhuleko, yabo. Mawuqedile umkhuleko, ungacishi phela amakhandlela akho uhambe, uyabo. Hlala lapho unabe, mekuthi it means ukuthi mhlawumbe uyahlabelela kancane, then uhlabe khuluma. But bantu benkosi, ngicela ukuthi I'm seeing it still, and it's a lot of people. There's a process you're going to need to do for isithunywa sakho, because unedlozi, yabo. You need them ukuthi ubahlanganise, and you need ukuthi ubaphakamise kanye or kanye khona ukuthi khona ofuna ukuphakanyiswa kuqala, yabo. My suggestion would be phakamisa okhuluma too much. Mekuthi nofanele umphakamisa kuqala, phakamisa lo okhuluma too much, khona uzocwidiseka, bese uphakamisa lo landelayo ke. Mase uqedile ukumphakamisa lo landelayo, then bese kuyabahlanganisa, so that they work as a married couple, yabo. Ungabenzi basebenze ngathi they're two different people. As much as sometimes abantu abaningi banezithunywa, that's another person, and idlozi, that's another person. Or ngithi ke isithunywa, abantu abanezithunywa zasemkhathini, isithunywa sikamoya leso, that sometimes is not in a representation of a person, but it's just a representation of whatever, whether it be umoya itself or kanye an animal thizeni ehambiselana or iqadu, like a wasp, or kanye inyoni sometimes, but inyoni can also what kind of bird it is, because depending on the bird, it can be idlozi or it can be isithunywa. It just depends on the bird. Sometimes njengami nginedlozi, nginesithunywa esihambiselana nedlozi, so nginesithunywa mina, then nginedlozi, bese nginomuntu futhi omele onedlozi nesithunywa, so umoya oyidlozi ohambiselana nesithunywa, yeah. Because ngangichaza ngiphethwe abantu abawu-4, yabo. Ke manje hayi.
Thank you, Bessie. Second, this last question, Makhosi kuba mayini if you have this feeling ngathi ungahayiza ukhale?
Mone feeling yokuthi unohayizo or ukhale, shuthi khona into ekudalela usizi nengcindezi okufanele ukuthi mayilungise, and it's very deeply rooted, and it's causing you spiritual emotional distress, yabo. Leyo nto fanele uyilungise ngempela futhi, ngoba molokhu uyekela izolona izogcina isilwa nawe uqobo, yabo. Ema ngizofika fast la. Izogcina isilwa nawe. So ubalekela ukuthi-ke lo moya ugcina usulwa nawe ungasalwi nesimo kuphela. So when that's happening, must ukuthi uyilungise leyo nto leyo ingazilwe nawe. I hope ukuthi uya-understand. Nawu usuyabhodla. Mina siyivale-ke. Uma ingasekho-ke imibuzo. Isiyodibana-ke next time. Yeah, so ngicabanga ukuthi mhlambe ngizonibona mekuthi I don't do a video on Wednesday bazalwane ngicela ngingilindelele ngoLwesihlanu shosho ngizoyenza i-video ngoLwesihlanu. Now, last thing, but I'll also do a reminder, probably I should have done it earlier in the video. Mhla 15 December, because it's a holiday on mhla 16. Or angisho ukuthi mhla so angisho noma ngithi mhla 16. 16 is the last day. Into from the online store. Ngasho yeah, from the online store kanye ama-order ogwayi, ama-order ey'phika nojazi or whatever spiritual items that people are buying. So if you guys are going to be ordering, 16 December is going to be the last day, because every day we're going to be, I'm not yeah, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna be spending every single day siposa, every single day siyaposa, because ukusebenza esigodlweni in terms of ukuhlola nanani sijwayele ukuvala ngomhla 23 ne
asivali siyama for iy'nsuku nje lezi ezokuba nomndeni. Yeah. And then ke mhla 3 kanje
siyaqhubeka. So siyama kancane ngomhla from siyagcina ngomhla 23 siqhubeke ngomhla 3-4 lapho. Sijwayele ukuthi senze kanjalo. So ngicela nizilungiselele, ngicela kungabi khona umuntu ozothi ucela ukuzohlola ngomhla 24. Last year baba nalezo inkinga abantu umuntu afaka imali angihlaniphele afaka imali bese sithi gogo ngicela ufike kusasa lapho usho umhlaba usho umhla 24. Every single year noma kuthiwa ngithe ngiyama somebody, and it won't be one person, it will be like 4 or 5 people coming and wanting to basebenza ngomhla 24 December. Bazalwane, I can't do this year. Ngibonile ukuthi this year angipostanga lutho doing anything on my birthday. Angizange ngenze lutho on my birthday, but thank you for those that wish me happy birthday and but yeah, I didn't do anything for my birthday. Usually I always do things like giving back and whatnot. This year nje bengicela ukuphumula ngibe nami nenkosi nomoya engcwele ney'nkinga zami uyabo. Nokukhuluma nomana umana asho yonke into afuna ukuyisho-ke sihleke kube mnandi njalo. So this year nje I can't do that. 23 December and so besima, and then ngomhla 3-4 kanjalo-ke sobe sesiqhubeka ngoJanuwari. Okay, yiphi leyo uMorongwe futhi?
No.
Uthe ngifuna ngiyibone. Ulingari? Noma ulingerie? Angazi. I just want to say thank you. Been really helped me ngiyongena ephehlweni soon manje and feel contentment. Ngibonga, I'm so glad, and that's my thing ukuthi more than anything, it's not about ukwenza ama-video and abantu bathosela ekhaya, but ngifisa ukuthi abantu mebengena ephehlweni, because the people that I've guided and abantu even ade ngibalapha umuntu bese angitshela ukuthi sengiyongena-ke ephehlweni, amanye ongena amaphehlweni enikhonjiswa wona You know, it doesn't have to be me. Mina engibathathayo that are not meant for me, but imaya biyahambiselana neyami. Abantu idlozi lami has abavumile ukuthi ayilaba I can spiritually adopt them because of whatever problems. But you can. I'm very open about that with people that I'm healing. Masusuko nje sugobela wakho ayixabene. Ngisanithanda ngoba there are people that engibalaphile that are very dear to my heart. I've seen them through a lot of their issues. Even some are personal. They're not even inkinga zikamoya, but ngiba umuntu njengoba advisor, like a mentor. I've been a mentor to a lot of people, and bayongena emaphehlweni abo bheke mina hayi sengumabheyi kanti zivutha kanje la hayi bese siyahleka ukuthi hayi ziyabila. We are in the same line of imsebenzi. I still guide those people, some of those people that have become healers, because bancane abalaphi do have a healer onwazi ukuthi akuphilele abe neqiniso kuwena. You know, don't lose that person just because uyongena ephehlweni. Uyabo, ngena ephehlweni, do what you need to do, and then go back because the knowledge I have may help you at some stage. And now we become people that each other in our confusions. We have where I'm confused. And now luckily I have ushabalala ukuthi mekhona la ngingaboni khona uyangisiza angilekelele naye mekhona la ngingaboni khona ngiyamsiza ngimlekelele. So at least me and him have each other. The people that don't so it's always good to build and have a circle of people because the journey of umoya is very difficult and it's very lonely. So having people around you that are living the same lifestyle and living lezinto ezi-confusing zikamoya, it's so important to have them. The healers engihlangane nabo emanzini mengiyohlambulula abantu bethe Makhosi hey size sikubona ayisiyabonga ngoba buye usilekelele mesibona ukuthi sesixakekile, you know. And I appreciate that because I know there are healers share laba abangisokhayo la afike ba subscribe ubabone ukuthi ngikhuluma ngithini baye back ke besebenza yonke into zabo ke lezo abazenzayo. But the healers genuinely that come to me and be like, no, thank you, you're helping us through it. You know, you know, that's why I don't mind sometimes when I suffer, because I know my suffering is going to help somebody else, you know, and help them see ukuthi kuyaphumeka kule nkinga, help them see ukuthi kuyaphileka ngisho kunzima, uyabo, help them see ukuthi you don't need ukuthi uyothwala kuze idlozi likuphilele, uyabo, suffer vuma ukusafarisha isikhashana, uyabo, because at the end of the day awuvumanga idlozi so that you can be a millionaire. Wavuma idlozi ngoba kwakhona into eyayikubiza ikuthuma ukuthi hambe ephehlweni, hambe wenza ukuthi hambe oguqa hambe othoba. Yebo lento, you didn't do it for anybody else, you didn't do it to be a millionaire, you did it ngoba ngempela wabizwa. Unless kungabizwanga-ke hamani yolanda iy'lwane zesilo, yabo. Yeah, Thokoza, yeah, Mama Thokoza, how long does it take you to pay Mrs. Tunya? Ngithwasile already. It depends. Depends on you. It depends on you, nomoya wakho. Uyabo. Sometimes it doesn't take much. Within 3 months, isiqhumo siphophe sibe mnandi. Sometimes even within a month, wenze lezo zinto ezimbalwa, siqhumo siphophe sibe right. Sometimes it does take about 6 months, depending ukuthi kwenzakalani, uyabo. Because nentwaso yakho yakhuluma, uyabo. Intwaso yakho can sometimes ukuthi the thing entwaseni ezinye So manje they have to unlearn their practices you need to kuhlehle kuzona uyabo, because for example isithunywa asimfuni umuntu ozosebenzisa imithi ebhedayo, ayifuni umuntu ozothwasa athi ngiyisangoma bese abe nesibindi sokuthatha abantu. Asifuni umuntu ozokhipha imithi edlisayo, uyabo, ukuthi wena ukhanda ama-relationship abantu ukuthi wena uyadlisana wena. Isithunywa asimfuni umuntu onjalo, asifuni isithunywa umuntu onganaxolo, uyabo. Even though some people, it takes me longer to forgive them, but I forgive them, not for them, but for umoya wami ukuthi to be at peace, because isithunywa asimfuni igqubu, uyabo. Isithunywa sifuna umuntu ozophila within purity, uyabo. And even though sometimes that makes you vulnerable to people and it makes you vulnerable to impilo nabantu that are around you, but at the end of the day, mofuna ukuthi isithunywa sakho sibe simeni lesi edinga ukuthi sibe kusona, because kunabantu abafaka iphika nojazi kodwa isithunywa udololo, yabo. Isithunywa sakho asidonsi, isithunywa sakho asihloli, asiboni, sidum nje, yabo. Kodwa umuntu ethi unesithunywa, ungadidwa umuntu ofaka isiphika, ungadidwa umuntu ofaka ujazi wesithunywa uthi uyisithunywa, unesithunywa. No, it's not about what we wear. We wear these things, yes, but izinto nathi sozona in visions. Mina yikho into yami esithunywa engayibona ngephupho, unless it was iphupho ngoba mina ngingabahlanganisa ke idlozi lami nesithunywa ke ngawahlanganisa. So I remember iba nephupho ehlangene nento esithunywa. On one side in the dream, there was one side la kugidwa khona okhombisa iside lami ledlozi. Then there was another side la kwakusontwa khona ngikhonjiswa into zesithunywa. So ngangangena la kuthandazwa khona, yabo, kuculwa, kuhlabelelwa kunjani, yabo. Ngangena lapho ke mengena, because ngangihamba nogogo umnikazi wami esithunywa, ngihamba nogogo ke wathi asingene la, uyabo. Mesingena ke lapho ke ngibone ukuthi ogqoke kanjeni kwenziwani, wayesangikhombisa enginika ithuse ke wathi nakho ke into ozokhuleka ngayo ke masukhuleka, yabo. So that's the only time where you'll dream regarding into zesithunywa, when it's your person or ugogo wakho or umkhulu wakho wants to show you something relating to isithunywa, esomlekelela ukuthi amandla aphakame, uthola ukuthi akwazi ukufikelela kuwena ngeyibonakaliso. If you're not seeing things in visions, kushuthi khona into esakucindezela. So in those times they can come in dreams, uyabo. Once isithunywa sakho sisiqaqeke kahle, then they should be coming in visions, uyabo. They shouldn't be waiting for dreams, uyabo. But I'm saying a lot and trying to just bundle it so that at least you have some form of understanding. But yeah, isithunywa it's dependent on you. And then umuntu okusizayo ngesithunywa sakho needs to be very well within naye isithunywa sakhe. Akwazi umuntu isithunywa sakhe sinteke, yabo, they are not fully connected to isithunywa sabo, them helping you with isithunywa sakho. That's why I appreciate Gobela. I've had a few people come to me, athi umuntu uGobela wami said it's okay ngingeza ukuthi ngisize ngesithunywa because naye akasenza ngesithunywa sakhe. Mina ke those people ngisho ngithi no, it's fine, but kuze ngilungiselele wena, I need ukuthi ngilungiselele uGobela wakho, because we thwasa lakhe, uyabo. Bese ke kuba nabantu abayizangoma ke bazofika ke athi umuntu ngicela bandla ungilungiselela lo muntu fanele sisi-check isithunywa sakhe ukuthi sisimo kanjani, yabo. Mekuthi khona ongaveli, uyabo, there's a blockage, then we have to understand why there's a blockage, ngingavumi ukuthi sibone esimeni sakhe sesithunywa. So lo muntu ngisuke somqaqa amanzini kuze kwazi ukuthi kuqaqeke ngendlela. Lapho ke ayihluphi isithunywa salo muntu, siyazi ukuthi hayi kufanele sifake olwandle, kufanele sifake elona empophomeni, uyabo. And before we do that, kufanele siyomfaka esizibeni, uyabo khona idlozi lakhe lizokwazi ukuthi fanele sikuhlangabeze emanzini uyabo ngoba sisayofaka omunye umoya walomntwana emanzini so azi ukuthi njengoba sizobika kuwena la ukuthi ungaxwayi laphaya yabo ujwayele ukuthi uhamba amanzi uhlambululeke kuneyithunywa ezifuna intaba lapho-ke hayi-ke mina ngisangeni-ke sengibiza ushabala ngithi shabala qola leya ndaba-ke uyolekelela nasi isithunywa uyabo isithunywa-ke sidinga iy'ntaba-ke uyabo isithunywa-ke sidinga umgede-ke hayi siyangena futhi-ke nami phakathi inside emgedeni uyabo
phakathi inside
uyabo so it just depends on the person and what's happening with you spiritually then kuzokhuluma ukuthi how long it takes to sort out isithunywa sakho uyabo umuntu wedlozi-ke must ukuthi ushaya ukhamba or ulona ulona wenze neladi for isithunywa okay you understood ayisibongeke you understood
the contractor will get update
yeah ngikhothekutheni ikhonzene yabo nje laba that ngempela you guys have really helped me laba bangilandelayo there are people that have been following my videos for years now uyabo abangazi kusaqale ngisano 5 viewers uyabo and have been with me through this journey and I appreciate it ukuthi no matter what life but ngikwazi ukuthi ngintshele ngihlambuluka ukuthi hayi bazalwane kuyagowa phela nala yes kuhle kumnandi edlozini mase kugidwa sekushawa ingoma kwenziwani kuhle kumnandi idlozi kumele kubusisa kuhle kumnandi but there are problems you need to know so that now you are equipped on how to face them there are things you need to understand about uphehlo so that masuyongena ephehlweni already you have understanding of into vele oyoyenza as much as into ey'ningi you're not going to know them because kunezinto ofanele uyifunde ephehlweni vele uyabo because uphehlo nophehlo alifani yebo le nto le so all I want to do is as I go through nami my journey even though sengisangoma kudala ngisangoma kuphelile 6 years ngisangoma but every day I discover new things. Every day I get new knowledge. Every day, bafika abantu abadala bathi hayi kukuthi yabo. I learned a lot of tradition and into zikamoya, not ephehlweni but through my own spirituality because I allowed myself to be umuntu othobile and umuntu oguqile and umuntu that is one with the earth uyabo ningafuni ukuba bahle kuphela edlozini ningafuni ukukhazimula ngezembatho but also understanding ukuthi you are becoming one with the wilderness you are becoming one ihlathi amanzi intaba and these places azinambakamo these places are not about being bougie these places are not about open ne-makeup ne-polo noma ne-Mercedes noma ne-Range Rover oyidrayivayo but these places understand humility they understand ukuzithoba they understand ukuthi asibhekile ukuthi ufika nani but sibheke ukuthi ufika unjani sifuna ubuwena these places want you as you and not you in your makeup or your nails or ukuba muhle ungaba muhle lapha ngaphandle but masikufika edlozini lezo zinto doesn't matter uyabo and those healers that teach you that it does banilahlekisa uyabo because they are separating you with the true spirits hence why there are people imoya bengaphakami to the level that they should be at labo bantu abanifundisa leyo nto kahle kahle baniphuca amandleni uyabo and amandla akho uwathola okuzithobeni and uthola through humility because ifuna idlozi nesithunya ifuna umuntu okhazimula enhlizweni okhazimula spiritually omuhle spiritually yabo they need the beauty of you within your goodness and not within trying to look better or being better than the next person uyayibona
sisho ukuthi ube yiphara ke
hayi asisho ukuthi ube yiphara
sisho ukuthi geza phela
geza Geza.
Chopha iy'nyawo lapha. Noma uhamba la ungahambi ney'thende
Ezimnyama.
ezinemkeke la.
Uchophe ugeza ube buhle ube njani? Ube clean. Khona nelento yona
Lithi Makhosi Thandi wathi nje hey.
Ngempela sebekudayisa. Ngoba ngiyadayisana.
Phansi yonke lento.
Hayibo, ndingakunokuthi bazalwane. Yabo ndigeze, yabo nibe bahle nibe njani noma ngihamba ngey'nyawo but yabo mina if you touch my feet ungaphika ukuthi ngihamba ngey'nyawo ngoba zi-soft. Ngathi ngiphuma ukuyomasajwa laphaya. Ngathi bengiphuma ukuyocofwa yabo abelungu. So nje just be your best self but in the most
indlela
ehloniphekile in the most humane way uyabo but-ke kube kuhle kube mhlophe emakhosini sibonge awu kanjalo nje until next time Uyinyanga nelanga lenkwenkwezi uyingcwele simanga
next time on the next episode of Dragon.
Uyinyanga nelanga lenkwenkwezi uyingcwele simanga